quads. Good evening, I guess. You see it's dark. I had to put the dome light on. This is episode 190 of Genius Take the Wheel. Another Sunday evening. I guess you could say I have officially, moved my leg days or my weekend leg day to Sundays. The reason why? Well, I guess there's two reasons why. Number one, it allows me to not interfere with my UFC live streams on Saturdays, and because parking is free on Sundays. So where I work out currently, the parking regulations don't let up on Saturday and Sunday like at the old gym. The parking regulations in this part of the city let up only on Sundays. So, if I need to spend a little bit of extra time and not have to worry about, being able to get a spot at all, or to, be able to pay for one comfortably, Sunday I'll have Sunday I don't have to worry about many of the other regulations. So I am plenty happy with just coming into the gym on Sunday. That's what I'm doing. So, yeah, I was in the trenches today, y'all. I still have the same burning desire to reach my goals. I do. But after I got sick this week, from the marathon training that I did last Sunday, and then I did a hard workout the very next day, I had to learn how to, again, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. So I decided that I wasn't going to go do the squat and the deadlift and the row, that I was simply going to go as hard as I could on the squat and the deadlift. So last week I was able to do 5 sets of 5 at 225 pounds on the barbell back squat. And I was then able to be successful at 365 pound deadlift, 3 sets of 3. That's a total of 9 repetitions. That was last week. And then I did, the weighted pull-ups and, the heavy this, the heavy that. And, that was a whole thing, right? Sorry, I can't wait anymore. So today, because I had done the 25 reps at 225, I consider 225 pounds to be defeated, and that I would try to do 3 sets of 3, or a total of 9 repetitions at 245 pounds today. And that is a huge milestone for me, because when my quad tendon burned out at the end of September and the beginning of October, around the time that Mrs. Evil went to go run the marathon in Berlin, Germany, I was trying to work at 245 pounds on the squat. Now, at the time, my deadlift was somewhere in the neighborhood of 315 pounds. And so me, I still consider myself rehabbing the quad, but I guess, I won't really know when the rehab ends. I'll just not feel anything funny in my quad anymore, and I'll be a whole lot stronger. And so I warmed up with the bar. I went at 95 pounds, 135, 185. The first sets were, with sets of 10. And then when I got to 185, it was a set of 5. And and then I had to basically make a decision on whether or not I would, if I would go to 225 for 3 or 5 reps, or just go straight to 245. And so I made the executive decision to that I was just going to go to 245 pounds of 3 sets of 3, if for no other reason to conserve energy. And going from 185 to 245 is a 60-pound difference, but I felt confident enough that I could make that jump without really costing myself. My biomechanics were in a good place. My balance was fairly good. I did kind of shift my weight to the front of my left foot a little bit. I'm working on that. But for the most part, I was really good. I was talking to my good friend Louis Rossman while I was lifting, so I was in a good mood. We were having a good conversation in a somewhat unexpected way. And I got through that 3 sets of 3. I really smashed the shit out of that 3 sets of 3. The 3 sets of 3 was so good. And it was good in a really beautiful way. It wasn't like, oh my God, I should just do 1 billion more sets or reps. It wasn't like that. It was just the right amount of difficult. I got stuck at the bottom on the 3rd rep in all 3 sets, where I had to really squeeze my quads and squeeze my glutes to really have that controlled contraction, that controlled power out of the bottom of the squat. And though it was really difficult, man, it was so good. And it was the right kind of difficult. I didn't feel anything bad in my left quad tendon. I felt very accomplished. I was clear-headed. I wasn't lightheaded. It was all good. I will definitely attempt at least 1 more set of 3 next weekend, and I should be just fine. Then when I moved to the deadlift, I warmed up the way I've been warming up. RDLs with the barbell, then with 95 pounds, then with 135, all sets of 10. Then at 185, more sets of 10. And then I placed the bar on the floor, took it off the rack, and did a set of 5 at 185 for the conventional deadlift to kind of start there. And then I added 90 pounds to 275, but that was for 5 repetitions. And then I added another 90 pounds to go straight to 365. And today I needed to do 4 sets of 3. And I went into this pretty confident. But let me tell you something. It was so much harder physically. It was so much harder physically to do than I actually counted on it being. I really thought it was going to be a lot easier than it ended up being. Because I was very confident. And the thing is, it helped me get through sets 1, 2, and 3 to get to where I was last week, the level I was last week. It felt really good. Like, it felt extraordinarily good. The reps were very, very difficult. But they felt so good. And its difficulty. It felt really good. And I'm very proud. But let me tell you something. That 4th set was stupid hard. I know. I was trying to add 33% more work onto my body than from what I did last week on the deadlift. I get it. 3 extra reps going from 9 to 12. It's significant. But I wanted it really bad. And I ended up getting lightheaded trying to set up for it. And I also noticed that my positioning was really bad through my lower back, but only on the 4th set. So when I felt that my lower back was kind of giving up the ghost, like Meek Mill gave up his lower back to P. Diddy, I decided to step away from the bar, take the weight belt off, stop hyperventilating, and get back to basics. But even when I did that, oh my goodness, it was so difficult. I got the first 2 reps off and it was like, ugh. And then I tried to just wing it through the 3rd set and my body was like, nah, son. I had to step away for about 10 seconds. And then once I stepped back up, I said, I'm not going to hang out at the bottom of this deadlift. I'm just going to go. And I'm really not sure how that 12th rep went up. I'm just not sure. But that set 4 was so difficult from a neurological perspective, from a mental perspective, cardiovascular. I felt like I couldn't breathe. But hitting that with good biomechanics, not, skipping anything, not trying to take a shortcut, not just pulling the bar off the floor with my lower back by any means, necessary or otherwise, I feel really, really, really good about where I am. And I really wanted to do the row today, but I was like, nah, it's not worth it. The row's not worth it today. I'm just gonna kind of chill out on that a little bit, and because I don't want to get sick again. So I'm very proud of myself because the last 3 repetitions really only got done off of the stick-to-itiveness, just that desire to win. And I did not put my body in a bad position. I have no pain in my lower back. I did feel something in my left hamstring, but I think it's only because my left hamstring is a little bit weaker than my right hamstring. So it really felt more like it was more fatigued than the other hamstring, rather than it feeling like it was strained. I don't have any discomfort in my hamstring right now. So I know it was just, I'm still working on evening out the odds when it comes to my hamstring. So I'm very happy about how the training went today. I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow, how relaxed I feel. And that is going to be the deciding factor if I go and I do my rows tomorrow. I'm a little bit behind on upper body work, but it hasn't been so long where like I'm going to lose muscle or strength or anything like that. But my rhythm for my upper body training schedule has been negatively impacted, but I'll get it right back. I always do. So, yeah. I do want to, before I leave, I watched a couple of videos today, one from Coach Greg, and I watched another video from Average Man Unplugged, talking about this whole, it's a full-blown catastrophe, fiasco, scandal. Cooking with Kaya is a phrase that I'm upset that I even uttered, but I needed to so you guys can understand what I'm referring to, because it has become a lightning rod in society. And what I want to focus on with this conversation, and I might do a video on TSP to be a little bit more fleshed out. This Cooking with Kaya thing is absolutely no different than Haktua. They're zero difference. And the reason why I say that is because people are not really having a problem necessarily with the sexualized parts of the content. That is not the problem that people are having. Because when women talk about doing the fellatio thing, they get like big record deals and they become really wealthy for talking about, let's just say, publicly inappropriate activities, not safe for work or children. Women are frequently encouraged to engage in that behavior. So with the Haktua girl, people tried to frame it as if she was sexually inappropriate, but we celebrate the sexual inappropriateness and the sexual liberation of women. Likewise, with in the Cooking with Kaya situation, she does overly sexualize herself, but that is not the real problem with why people have a problem with her. Because women, and black women in particular, have been doing the whole, we're going to twerk all over everything, and you can't stop us because this is our self-expression. So the Kaya lady is doing the same thing that the black community has said, you know what? We want to celebrate them doing that. We had a presidential electoral campaign where the woman who wanted to be president put a rapper up on stage who threw her booty cheeks at the screen. We're talking about a rally for the election of the president of the United States of America. And they did not have a problem, or as much of a problem, when Megan Thee Stallion turned around, turned her back to the crowd, and then threw her surgically enhanced body and then jiggled it all around in people's faces. The real problem that people have with the Hawk Tuah girl and the Cooking with Kaya girl, the real problem is that they express positivity towards men. That's the problem. Anything that any woman does on the internet that is to the liking of men in a psychological or an emotional way, showing any kind of appreciation for men, any kind of deference to men, that is the problem. Guys didn't get with the Hawk Tuah girl and give her all this fame for just saying that, when we've got tons of examples of chicks out there being inappropriate in public. The way that she expressed herself was, you need to appreciate the men in your life and do nice things for them that they care about, that they appreciate. That's the problem. Women have been talking about how they're not going to do anything for a man. And some other woman used her feminist right to choose for herself what's important to her and how she wants to represent herself publicly. And she did so in a way that was positive towards men. And that was her unforgivable sin. I want you guys to think on that. I am going to prepare a commentary on TSP on the subject and eat some food and rest and try to get these gains. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate all y'all's. Mrs. Evil in the mofo as I'm about to disembark. I really want to thank everybody that continues to support me. If you're part of the Replay gang and you've watched this far, man, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. But I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a wonderful end of your weekend. And I hope that you guys get everything that you want out of the coming week. See you later.